Hi, I'm musician and producer Gary Hiebner, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the update to the CrumplePop sound app and how to use it in Pro Tools with ARA. Using CrumplePop's sound app in Pro Tools with ARA opens up better workflow when it comes to demixing or to denoise your audio files. So just to give you some more details on ARA. ARA is Audio Random Access, which is a plugin format that works directly within the entire audio clip within your DAW. So unlike your standard audio plugins, which can only process sound in real time while playback is running, in ARA mode, these can instantly analyze, edit, and update the audio, giving you access to more powerful processing and more accurate results across your entire clip. So now let's see how we can use SoundApp in Pro Tools with ARA. So over here, I've got an audio file. What you need to do is right-click on the audio file, scroll down to ARA plugins, and then select SoundApp. Now this is going to open up the SoundApp in the lower pane over here, and it's going to start processing the audio. So make sure that you wait for that to finish, and then I'm going to walk you through the UI and how you can use all the features and functions. So starting off on the left over here, you've got the name of the audio clip. Then you've got the song length and then the playhead position. So that's going to give you the time of the position of that playhead. Over here, you can switch the waveform view from mono view to stereo view, or if you click this icon over here, it's going to switch it to the stem view. So over here, this is the other stem, and then this is the voice stem. There's a level meter. You can click on this icon to bypass the processing. Here you can switch between the Demix and Denoise models. The settings allows you to go in and change the processed audio cache, which is a great new feature that I'll get to in a sec. Then over on the right-hand side over here, this is where you can select the model that you want to use. So currently there is the voice 2 stems and the music 4 stems. If you want to install more models, you can click on more models here, or you can click on the beaker icon over here and it brings up the manage models. So these are the models that are installed by default, but you can go in and install other models. For example, I really want to add in the Cinema 4 stems and show you how this works. So I'm just going to click install to install these models, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how these other features work. Now with those models installed, I want to jump across to the music 4 stems, and I want to use this to remix my audio track and also to isolate elements and render them out. So now if I click on this icon over here, it splits it up into the 4 different stems. You can see blue is related to drums, orange is bass, green is voice, and then other is purple, which normally relates to other leftover instruments, for example, like guitars, synths, and other melodic instruments. So I'm going to play back and take a listen. I find that the bass is a bit loud, so I'll pull that down. Maybe I want to pull the drums down, and then increase the voice. So that's a way on how I can remix this now. But let's say I want to isolate or remove specific elements. So let's say, for example, I want to remove the vocal so that I've just got an instrumental bed that I can add vocals on at a later stage. Well, in that way, I can just mute this over here, play it back. Just increase the level of those again. Or maybe even better, I want to remove the synths. I can take other and remove that. So now I've just got a drum and bass bed. But let's say I want to use just the vocal, so isolate just the vocal. Well, what works really well is to jump across back to the 2 stems. So I'm going to unmute that, and I'm going to click over here and jump back to voice 2 stems. Now, this shows you another great new feature, which is the processed audio cache. I can jump between different models, and it remembers all the processed audio. So that's a great way to make some changes between models and see which one you prefer. Now, the reason why I'm going to the voice 2 stems is it has a high quality voice separation. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to take the other and mute it, and then play back. Yeah, that's sounding great. So now let me render this down. So to do this, you can just right click on the audio file, go down to SoundApp, and select Render. So as you see from the waveform now, this renders it down to a new audio waveform with just the vocal. And the reason that I want to do this is I want that isolated vocal, and I want to add another track here so I can sort of do a remix of the audio. So I've added another track in over here. This is an ambient synth pad track. So basically what I've done here is a remix where I've isolated the vocal, then added it with some other tracks within Pro Tools. If you're working on audio files that contain voice, music, sound effects, and ambulance, then you're going to want to use the Cinema 4 stems. For example, I've got an audio file over here where I can't go back to the multi-track project, but I want to adjust some of the levels. So let me play it back for you and I'll show you the changes that I do. Lost in the rhythm of the city, distant sirens, and endless hum of the life rushing by. So the voice is a bit too soft. So I could raise the voice, or alternatively, I can drop the music, sound effects, and the other, which is the ambulance. So I'm going to take the music, drop that down, drop the effects, drop the other, play back. Lost in the rhythm of the city, distant sirens. Sounding good. Maybe just increase that music slightly. Rushing by. Skyscrapers tower above, while the streets pulse with stories untold. Yeah, that's sounding great. So that's a nice way that I can take an audio piece that contains those type of elements like music, sound effects, voice, and ambulance, and go in there and remix it using the Cinema 4 stems. Now let's take a look at the Denoise models. So over here on the right, you can choose between indoor or outdoor models. So with the indoor models, these remove noise, echo, and other distractions. Where with the outdoor models, these remove environmental noise. For example, windy outdoor environments or urban traffic noise. So over here, I've got an example where I took my field recorder outside and recorded myself speaking, but it also picked up some of the windy environment as well. As well as removing the noise, the models also automatically adjust your levels to a production-ready range and enhance the voice. So I'm going to be using the outdoor wind model to see how much I can remove from this audio file. I'm going to select that. I'm going to set the strength to 100 so you can hear the maximum removal of noise that you can hear on the audio signal. First, I'm going to bypass the processing and show you what it sounded like before, and then I'm going to turn the processing on and you'll hear how much of that noise gets removed. Here, recording a signal where there's some wind. We're going to see if we can remove some of that wind and how much of it can be removed. And now with the processing turned on. Here, recording a signal where there's some wind. We're going to see if we can remove some of that wind and how much of it can be removed. Yes, as you can hear, that did a great job of removing that outdoor wind that was in the audio signal. As well, you could also hear that it removed some of the mechanical sounds you heard in the background and some kid noise that was there as well. So I hope that gives you a much better understanding now on how to use CrumplePop Sound App in Pro Tools with ARA. This is a great benefit for demixing and denoise your audio files directly in your DAW. Now, if you don't have SoundApp, there is a free trial that you can use so you can try out these features. Or you can sign up for the Boris suite, which is a monthly subscription that gives you access to these applications. I'm Gary Hiebner from Boris. Thanks so much for watching.